Business to Business Marketing, Chapter 3, page 10. Here we see the Exhibit 3.7, summary of the new task example. And the stages and the results change a little bit when it is straight rebuy. The stage definition. We have the result recognized, problem analyzed with the help of consultant, supplier, helps write specifications, and request for proposals. Suppliers submit proposals. In the selection stage, the discussions and negotiations with suppliers begin. Supplier selected, the one who helped initially, contract negotiated, and signed. In the delivery solution stage or deliver solution stage, the result is that the system delivered in modules, it is tested, the users are trained, the system is modified and redefined as needed. Stage end game. In the end game, we have the result of the system. System is operational, or it's operated, system operated. The results are observed and analyzed. Discussions begin with supplier for acquisition of new modules and upgrades. Here we see a summary, another summary, Exhibit 3.8, examples of organizational and individual needs in the buying decision process. Steps in flow, define problem, organizational needs, clear, concise, tractable. Individual needs, information and time. Steps in flow, define solution, organizational needs, appropriate, affordable. Individual needs is design assistance. Acquire provider, choice, speed. Individual needs, information assurance. Remember that these individual needs refers to the influencers for buying the products for the organizational needs. At the individual level, we need, for example, develop solution, speed, easy use, individual execution help at the individual level. Install, test, train, ease of integration and speed. These are the organizational needs because this is global. This is the overarching need. And at the individual need, we need knowledge and comfort. Operate solution, organizational needs, user-friendly, and at the individual needs, the product must be easy to maintain. End result, steps in the flow. End result, organizational needs, effective and low cost. Individual needs, we need recognition. Steps in flow, evaluate outcomes, organizational needs, information, individual needs, communication, and reward. Further, the value-added reseller needs ease of use, ease of adoption, training of its employees, and merging with processes in place. Exhibit 3.8 shows how needs progress through the stages of the buying decision process. Notice that we have distinguished between the buying organization's needs and the individual needs of the members of the buying center. Notice as well that individual needs can be classified as personal needs or needs related to the individual's role within the organization. In general, the needs of the organization tend to be addressed by the product and service portions of the supplier's offering. The individual needs, both personal and role-related, of the buying center members are addressed mostly by the supplier's efforts to build a relationship with the customer. Let's look again. Buying center, individual needs. We need both personal and role-related. Here, individual needs, personal and role-related, and here are the organizational needs. Transition of buying decision process, new task becomes rebuy. If the supplier's marketing efforts are done well and have the desired effect, the new task buying situation for a particular customer will transition into some form of rebuy situation in the next round, as illustrated in Exhibit 3.9. Here we see the Exhibit 3.9 by decision evolution. Here we have the new task definition, selection, solution delivery, end game. Is buyer satisfied? If no, then next purchase will begin with the new task definition, selection, delivery, end game. But if the buyer is satisfied, yes, then next purchase, it turns to a rebuy, where the definition, selection, and solution delivery and the end game overlap. As we see in the first example, straight rebuy, we may see that the stages overlap a little bit: definition, selection, solution delivery, and end game. And in the modified rebuy, we have to take care of the definition, selection, solution delivery, end game. It's a little bit different, but let's see how it works. Is the buyer satisfied? If yes, satisfied, and there are no differences, then the straight rebuy takes place. If no, is the buyer not satisfied, dissatisfied, we define changes to process and we come to the modified rebuy. How different is the next situation? We see if there are small differences, define changes to process, and we can make the modified rebuy taking in account the definition, selection, solution delivery, and end game. And this portion, evaluation in end game, large difference, new task, the new task takes place. And this is Exhibit 3.10, more buying decision evolution. If the marketing effort fails for some reason, a mistake is made, a competitor performs better, or the customer's situation changes drastically, for instance, the decision process may revert to an early stage, or the customer may decide to choose an alternative supplier. Exhibit 3.10 shows such contingencies as having a recycling effect in the process. The supplier then has to change its approach, determining what stage the decision process is now in, and looking for ways to provide value to the customer at that stage. Influences that shape the buying decision process. The preceding discussion described the effect of familiarity on the nature of the process. Also emphasized was the effect of the supplier's marketing efforts, particularly in the early stages of the buying process. Other factors that similarly affect the nature and flow of the decision process are the complexity of the problem and solution, the risk aversion of the decision makers and influencers, the importance of the decision related to the importance of the problem, and the speed with which the solution needs to be in place. Complexity tends to lengthen the process. Importance and risk aversion tend to make the process proceed with more rigor or care and tend to involve people higher in the organizational hierarchy. A requirement for speed, of course, tends to work against rigor and care and tends to reduce the scope of investigation. As has been noted, a business marketer must fully recognize the impact of joint decision-making in the buying center. The ability of the supplier to influence each of these decision makers requires recognition not only of the rational facets of the process, but also of the complexity of centers members' simultaneous but individual influence in the process. Just as different ingredients in a recipe interact with each other throughout the baking process, the interaction among members of the buying center is a continuous process.